Hi there. I'm just going to do a quick run through of how to process an HDR image using Photomatix. So I've got a couple images here that I took from last night that I've exported from Lightroom with no adjustments. The only difference was I turned them into TIFF files, 16-bit TIFF files to hold as much information as I possibly can. So in Bridge, I'm going to grab these three images here, and I'm just going to drag them down to my Photomatix program down there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to merge to HDR tone mapping. These are the three images that we picked. We're just going to say OK on that. Sorry about that. And now we're going to, because I took these on a tripod, I'm going to leave it on taken on tripod, align source images, keep crop aligned images checked, and a maximum shift of something really low, like at 2%. If it's anything more than that, then I'll have to go back and align images in a different program. So here we go, we're just going to hit align and merge to HDR. And this is just going to take a second. There we go. So here is a very dirty looking image. What we're going to do, we're going to go down here, we're going to hit mode or method defaults. Go back to the default settings. Let's start from scratch here. So strength, I'm going to turn this up all the way to 100. So we get maximum adjustment on our preview here. We are going to leave the color because that's something we'll do later. Tonal compression I'm going to leave for the minute. Detail contrast, I'm not going to use that. First thing we're going to do is go to lighting adjustments. This is what's going to give you your light source. You can see how that's shifting from the background to the actual realistic light sources, usually more on the right hand side. And that's where I like to let it sit, somewhere on the right hand side of this bar. Then I'm going to add a little bit more black into my image because I feel like it's lighting up a little too much. Sometimes with night shots, the exposures you get will overexpose it too much. That looks good. Now I'll go back up to my detail contrast. It looks like we're getting some funky, super overexposed flares there. So I'm actually going to turn that right down and maybe try and compensate for that with some tonal compression. And these two kind of work together. So you've got to kind of find a sweet spot that you like between those two. Then we'll come down here, we'll see if smooth highlights does anything. It probably won't at nighttime. No, I don't see anything happening. During the day, this is really good for skies, really bright clouds, things like that. Gamma, give it a little bit less. This is just the overall lighting of the image. We'll keep that low. Temperature, again, that's going to be with color. I'm not going to touch that. And then the micro smoothing, this is a strange one. This can give you a clean looking image or a really dirty looking one. I like to go on the dirtier side. Pulls out a little more stuff down here in the ground. So I'm just going to leave it up a little bit. Somewhere around there is usually pretty good. Shadows, again, this is something that you probably won't see too big of a change with unless it's during the day. I'm just going to give it a little bit of shadow smoothness. And these here go with the colors of the highlights and the color in the shadows. Again, I don't like to touch either one of those. And then you can just hit apply and it's going to shoot out a tone mapped image. And there you go. Looks pretty clean. Once you actually get down to it, next thing you want to do is just close it out. It's going to ask you to save, and you want to save that in whatever you like to call it. And that's it. Thanks very much for watching.